The kingfisher is a bird that seems to have stepped out of a fairy tale, with vibrant colors and a fascinating behavior that captivates observers around the world. If you think you know everything about birds, get ready, because this little marvel of nature has much more to reveal than just its stunning appearance. Let's dive, literally, into the world of the kingfisher, exploring curiosities, habits, and even some surprises that you may never have imagined. Did you know that there are over 90 species of kingfishers scattered across the world? Yes, these birds are present on every continent, except Antarctica. Each species has its own unique traits, but they all share an impressive talent for fishing. And, as the name suggests, they are masters of this art. But fishing isn't just a matter of survival, it's a spectacle in itself. Picture this: the kingfisher, with its shimmering feathers, hovers in the air, focused on its target. Then, with a quick and precise move, it dives into the water and reappears with a fish caught in its beak. It's as if the bird is a true Olympic athlete of the waters. What makes this even more amazing is the precision. Studies show that the kingfisher has highly developed vision, capable of calculating the refraction of light in water. This means that, even with the apparent shift in the position of the fish due to the water, it rarely misses the target. This ability is the result of thousands of years of evolution, perfectly adapting to the aquatic environment. But the kingfisher doesn't live on fish alone. Depending on the species and habitat, it may include small crustaceans, insects, and even amphibians in its diet. This dietary diversity ensures its survival in different environments, whether they be calm rivers, mangroves, or even dense tropical forests. And speaking of habitat, did you know that some kingfishers prefer arid regions? That's right, they're not restricted to bodies of water alone. Another fascinating aspect is the kingfisher's nest. Unlike many birds that build nests in trees, the kingfisher digs tunnels on the banks of rivers or lakes. These tunnels can be as long as 2 meters. At the end of the tunnel, the female lays her eggs, protecting them from predators and the elements. This strategy, though effective, requires a lot of effort and time, making the breeding season a challenging phase for the bird. And what about the kingfisher's song? It may not be as melodious as that of other birds, but it serves important purposes, such as marking territory and attracting mates. Each species has a unique call, which can range from a short trill to a more complex sequence of sounds. These vocalizations are yet another example of how nature equips each creature with specific tools for its survival. Now, let's talk about colors. Anyone who has seen a kingfisher up close knows that it looks like a living jewel. Metallic shades of blue, green, and orange adorn its feathers, creating a hypnotizing contrast. But did you know that these colors aren't exactly pigments? That's right, the kingfisher's colors are the result of a phenomenon called iridescence. The microscopic structure of the feathers reflects light in a specific way, creating this explosion of colors. It's science working in harmony with the art of nature. But not everything is rosy in the life of the kingfisher. Like many species, it faces threats due to human activity. Habitat destruction, river pollution, and even overfishing directly impact the survival of these birds. That's why conservation initiatives are essential to ensure that future generations can admire these incredible birds. In some places, such as nature reserves, efforts are being made to protect the kingfishers and the ecosystems they live in. Here's a bit of trivia you might not know, as some cultures consider the kingfisher a symbol of good luck and prosperity. In Greek mythology, for instance, there's a legend about Alcyone, a woman transformed into a kingfisher by the gods. This legend gave rise to the expression halcyon days, referring to a period of calm at sea. It's amazing how this bird has managed to capture not only fish but also human imagination over the centuries. Finally, I want you to imagine, for a moment, being by the edge of a calm river. The sun is shining, and the sound of the flowing water is interrupted by a flash of blue and orange. It's the kingfisher, in full action, reminding us of how nature can be both delicate and powerful. These birds teach us about precision, resilience, and, above all, the beauty of life in all its forms. Have you ever stopped to think about how the kingfisher manages to be so efficient at fishing? Its skill isn't just a matter of instinct, there's a lot of science behind every dive. This bird is equipped with unique adaptations that make it an expert at catching aquatic prey. One of these adaptations is the shape of its beak. It's long, sharp, and incredibly aerodynamic, reducing the impact when entering the water. It's as if the kingfisher has special equipment designed by nature for its main activity. Another interesting point is the flight. The kingfisher is a master of hovering, something known as stationary flight. It uses its fast, powerful wings to stay in the air, allowing it to observe the water below before diving. This movement requires impeccable coordination between vision and wing muscles. Few birds can perform this feat with such efficiency. Additionally, the kingfisher has highly specialized eyes. These eyes are adapted to see both in bright light and underwater. Unlike humans, who need to adjust focus manually, the kingfisher does this instantly. It also has a nictitating membrane, a sort of diving goggles that protects its eyes during the dive. With this combination of sharp vision and protection, it has virtually no rivals in what it does. The diversity of kingfisher species is also fascinating. While some live in lush tropical areas, others inhabit temperate climates or even semi-arid regions. This wide geographical distribution shows just how adaptable this bird is. Each species has developed specific strategies to thrive in its environment. For example, some prefer slow-flowing rivers, while others do better in rocky coasts or mangroves. And we can't forget the ecological impact of these birds. The kingfisher plays an important role as an indicator of aquatic ecosystem health. Its presence indicates that the water is clean and that prey is abundant. When kingfishers begin to disappear from a region, it's a warning sign that something is wrong in the environment. This makes them true sentinels of nature. If you're wondering how to spot a kingfisher in the wild, here's a tip: choose a peaceful spot near a body of water. Be patient and keep an eye out for quick movements and flashes of bright colors. Often, they are easier to hear than see, so pay attention to the characteristic sounds. With luck, you might witness the incredible spectacle of a kingfisher in action. It's an experience that will surely stay with you. Now that you know more about the kingfisher, I hope you've fallen in love with this unique bird as much as I have. And remember, every time we care for nature, we're ensuring that moments like these continue to be part of our world. If you've been lucky enough to see a kingfisher in action, share your experience in the comments. And of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more fascinating stories from the animal kingdom. See you next time. Cats, those mysterious and charming companions of humanity, have a fascinating history and a remarkable presence in our lives. Despite their small size, these felines are giants in charisma and complexity. Did you know that domesticated cats have existed for thousands of years? In ancient Egypt, they were revered as symbols of protection and fertility. But beyond this glorious past, there are countless curiosities that make cats even more intriguing. First, let's talk about the unique behavior of cats. They exhibit habits that may seem strange at first glance, but each has an evolutionary purpose. For example, the famous habit of rubbing against our legs isn't just a gesture of affection but also a way of marking territory. By rubbing their faces on you, the cat is spreading pheromones that say, "Are you mine?" Fascinating, isn't it? Another curious aspect is purring. The soft, continuous sound cats make isn't just a sign of happiness. Studies show that cats also purr when they're anxious or even in pain. That's because purring has a calming effect, both for them and those around them. Amazingly, the frequency of purring can even aid in the healing of bones and tissues. Imagine that, a healing power embedded in a simple feline. And what about cat's eyes? They're true masterpieces of nature. Have you noticed how their pupils contract vertically? This doesn't happen by chance. This adaptation allows cats to adjust their vision quickly to different lighting conditions, making them exceptional hunters, both day and night. Moreover, their ability to see in low-light environments is an inherited trait from their wild ancestors, who needed to hunt at dusk. Speaking of hunting, even domestic cats retain a strong predatory instinct. That's why they love playing with toys that mimic prey, such as stuffed mice or feathers. In fact, every leap and strategic move during these play sessions reflects hunting tactics. Interestingly, even well-fed cats continue to hunt small insects or animals. This is because hunting is more about instinct and enjoyment than hunger. Now, have you ever wondered why cats are so fond of boxes? This behavior is one of the most discussed among cat enthusiasts. The explanation lies in their need for security. Boxes provide an enclosed space where they feel safe and can observe their surroundings without being noticed. This behavior harks back to when they needed to hide from predators in the wild. Another fascinating detail is a cat's tongue. It's covered in hook-shaped papillae that help with grooming and eating. These structures make a cat's tongue feel rough to the touch, almost like sandpaper. This is crucial for their impeccable hygiene, as they spend about 30% of their awake time grooming themselves. This habit not only keeps them clean but also helps regulate their body temperature. Furthermore, cats have an incredibly rich form of communication. While meowing is their most well-known sound, it's used almost exclusively to communicate with humans. Among themselves, cats prefer to use body language, such as tail movements and facial expressions. Interesting, isn't it? It's almost as if they've developed a special way of talking to us over the centuries. And how about their paws? Those soft little paw pads aren't just adorable. They serve important functions, such as absorbing impacts when jumping and identifying textures. Additionally, their paws have glands that release scents, allowing them to leave invisible markers as they walk. This is yet another example of how cats have a sophisticated system for interacting with the world around them. Another fascinating curiosity is how cats have adapted to urban life. Even when living in apartments or houses without outdoor access, they find creative ways to exercise and have fun. Toys, scratching posts, and even watching the world through a window are enough to stimulate the minds of these little explorers. Providing an enriching environment is essential for the well-being of a domestic cat. Now, let's delve into a lesser-known characteristic, a cat's incredible sense of direction. Did you know that many cats can find their way home even from kilometers away? While the exact mechanism isn't fully understood, it's believed they use a combination of visual, olfactory, and even magnetic cues to navigate. This explains why stories of cats returning to their owners after years are so common. Cats also play a significant role in our mental health. Studies show that petting a cat can reduce stress and anxiety levels. Simply watching a cat sleep or play is relaxing and brings a sense of comfort. It's no wonder so many people consider cats as members of the family. Lastly, we can't forget to mention each cat's unique personality. While some are more independent and reserved, others are incredibly sociable and affectionate. This diversity in temperaments makes every cat special in its own way. It's this unpredictability that makes living with cats so rewarding. You never know what to expect but are always surprised by gestures of affection or funny moments. Another fascinating point about cats is their ability to recognize voices and associate them with faces. Despite often appearing indifferent, studies have proven that cats can distinguish their owners' voices from others. This ability strengthens the bond they develop with humans, all while maintaining their characteristic independence. Moreover, cats are masters of energy conservation. They sleep for about 12 to 16 hours a day, a habit that dates back to when they needed to save energy for hunting. However, even while resting, cats remain highly alert to their surroundings. A slight sound or suspicious movement is enough to wake them instantly, ready to react. Another interesting feature involves their whiskers, or vibrissae, which are much more than an aesthetic detail. These highly sensitive hairs help cats measure spaces, detect air pressure changes, and even sense nearby vibrations. That's why you should never trim a cat's whiskers, it could disorient them and cause significant discomfort. Finally, let's talk about how cats have influenced culture throughout the centuries. They have inspired artists, writers, and filmmakers, becoming protagonists in iconic works. From the mystical cats of Egypt to the popular cat memes of the internet, these felines have secured a unique place in our hearts and history. These aspects showcase how extraordinary cats are, combining mystery, intelligence, and charm in an irresistible package. They continue to surprise us, proving that when it comes to cats, there's always something new to discover. So, the next time you observe your cat, remember that it carries thousands of years of history and incredible adaptations. These small felines are much more than mere pets, and they are true companions, full of mysteries and charms that never cease to amaze us.